And welcome back. Tuesday evening, new comic Tuesday leading into Wednesday. Flashback Comics in Woodbridge, Virginia. I am Troy David Phillips. With me today is S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Kevin Goswan.
Why, thank you for recognizing. I even got the lapel pin. I wore this to work today, and people thought I was going for an interview rather than just cosplaying at work like the freak that I am.
Why don't you show him the belt buckle?
Oh, and of course I got the belt buckle, Captain America.
Yep. Ask him about the trading cards. He has a whole set. They're vintage. So Troy. Kevin,
we got new comics coming out tomorrow, and that's that's the 24th.
Yes, it
Wednesday
is.
the 24th of
2014.
September.
Yeah, September grinding to a halt. Lots of good stuff there. DC throwing more of their lenticulars at us. The Futures End hero spotlights, sort of a opposite of last year's 3D lenticulars, which were villain spotlights for Forever Evil. This is huge.
Yeah. They're pretty cool. I'm getting another one, Troy, and you didn't even try to talk me into it.
You didn't give me time.
I know, but shall I show you what I'm going to get?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Lenticularly wise, is that a thing?
It just became a thing.
Booster Gold. Booster Gold is a really cheesy DC hero who's always trying to do good, except when he's not. And, he tries hard, and eventually he becomes a hero.
Supposedly,
I have no idea how he is in the New 52. How is he?
In the New 52, he's still trying very much to do the right thing. You should have been reading Justice League International. That would have been where you found him.
In New 52?
In the New 52, Justice League International.
Any good? Who writes it?
Well, it wrote. It's over. They replaced that with the Justice League America, and Justice League America has ended and been replaced with Justice League United. So, but I have back issues. I can hook you up.
I bet you do.
I do.
I bet you. Well, and we've got the camera placed in the middle of the store this time, so you can see a little bit more that we've got so many back issues that Troy can help you buy.
Yes,
he'll help you.
Happily so. So that's your first pick there, Kev?
That's my first pick. What's your first pick?
Well, I was just going to say, commentary, for those of you who don't know, the Futures End storyline is set 5 years into the future from DC's present timeline, involving many characters like Grifter and Hawkman, Frankenstein, the remnants of Stormwatch, a slightly older Justice League, a Justice League set 5 years into the future, Ronnie Raymond and Jason, the Firestorm pair, having their issues, and so some changes for Firestorm coming up here. Amethyst also being seen again since the end of her feature, Sword Sorcery. The hero spotlights have so far tackled Batman, Batgirl, Batwoman, Batwing, the Justice League United, the Green Lantern Corps. There've been a lot of spotlights, so don't just settle for Booster Gold here, Kev. There's a lot happening that you need to get caught up with.
I probably will eventually.
How can you be everything geek pop culture if you're not reading all
a bunch of DC stuff? You know how angry I am with New 52. I'll get there eventually. Hopefully they'll switch it back to the way I like it.
We'll get him back on his antipsychotics, I promise.
Might happen. But anyway, something I noticed. I was going to say, let's see who does the art this time. A ton of people. This is like Heroes for Hope or some stuff. That's a flashback reference for you there.
Oh my God, taking me back to 1985.
But yeah, this is a ton of different artists. It's Norm Rapman doing the. And Dan Jurgens. Oh no, written by Dan Jurgens, but
still got Dan Jurgens on this.
Yeah. And then we've got in this issue, we've got. Oh, look at that! Who's doing this Kirby-esque art?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that!
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
And then some of it we've got more than one iteration of Booster Gold. We've got Booster, his sister, and then some past or future version of Booster.
Well, that's kind of ironic, being as how Booster himself is from the future.
You know what I mean?
Yes, indeed. Will Conrad, Steve Lytle, Stephen Thompson, Mark Irwin, Ron Friends.
Maybe it was Ron Friends.
I'll bet you that was Ron Friends with Scott Hanna, pages 12 through 14. Yes, indeed. Booster Gold, created by Dan Jurgens. I love to see that in the byline. I'm pretty excited to see this there. I am definitely... I'm really enjoying... Let me get my own mic here. I am actually really enjoying the Future's End storyline. And you know what? You should probably... We're only up to issue 21 this week. So,
I've bought like 3 of them so far, and I haven't started them yet.
Well, you need to get on with that. It's a weekly comic, and it's going to run until March 2015. I'm
catching up with all these other things that I've been buying. I watched. See how I am? I read... a bunch of the other the tie-ins to the Marvel's universe-wide series, which is called
Original Sin.
Yeah, so I read Original Sins,
which over now,
which was amazing. Original Sins, which was great with Young Avengers.
Yes,
I love the Young Avengers. The artist was different, and normally I thought I was going to be like, "Grr, I don't like this artist," but it really grew on me. Mm-hmm. And then plus they had these little snarky asides in the bottom margin. If you didn't notice, it's like in a very light blue. If you haven't noticed and you read those already, go back and read them, and they're funny as heck.
I'm actually going to go back.
I'm trying to keep this PG.
Yes, thank you. Heck, as in veteran artist Don Heck? Legendary Avengers artist Don Heck?
Was he snarky in his margins?
Probably not.
All right. What's your first one?
My first pick, coming from Dark Horse Publishing. Tim Seeley on Sundowners.
So tell me.
Okay. Yes, indeed. Sundowners. If you checked out the first issue, you were introduced to the Encounter Support Group for people suffering Sundowner Syndrome. That took you through the characters as they described their previous week, the things that they tried to do in their costumed identities, and how those things went terribly wrong. Tim Seeley giving us some very interesting characterization, advancing the plot through the characters themselves, as opposed to having something purely epic plot-driven. Nothing wrong with that, simply a difference in writing style. If you're familiar with Tim Seeley's work from books like The Occultist or Revival or Grayson, then you have some familiarity with the style that Tim Seeley brings. And he is a fantastic writer. He writes those books. He's got an amazing body of work behind him.
What did he write in, like, I don't know, early 2000s? What am I? There's something that I'm missing that I'm like, oh yeah, I know that name. Maybe some Vertigo or something.
Well, maybe. I can't recall them all, but I did pretty good there.
You did great. You did better than I would. My memory, as you might notice, not as great. It's particularly not as great as this guy.
Yeah, well, that's because he's still running on outdated software.
Hey,
Dark Horse Entertainment, Sundowners, Tim Seeley, Jim Terry. Pick that up.
Sounds good. The way you described the first issue, and then you said, and then I realized, that's that same series. So yeah.
Yeah. Don't be fooled. He bought it. He just hasn't gotten to it yet.
Oh, seriously? I bought it?
Yes, you did.
Oh, make sure I get that second one.
Yeah, I'll do that. What's your next pick?
My next pick, sir. Speaking of Original Sin, hey, Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't get enough, honestly. And as I've mentioned before, I'm a big fan of the 2000s Nova series. And so I'm like, more Nova. I got to have it. And then, of course, you've got Star-Lord on the cover as well.
Yes, indeed. So, once again, we're back to Richard Rider and Star-Lord together again. The last time we saw them together, they were inside the Cancerverse, keeping Thanos trapped on the other side, having defeated the Lord. That was in the Thanos Imperative, and Marvel was leading the Legion of Superheroes, pardon me for the trademark infringement there, DC Comics, and with the defeat of the Cancerverse versions of these heroes, Nova, Star-Lord, and Thanos were all stuck on the other side when they closed the breach. Well, we got Thanos back, we got Star-Lord back, We did not know what happened to Richard Rider, but they're going to unfold that now. Thank you, Brian Michael Bendis.
That was a spoiler there.
Yeah, stop. You're killing it.
That was a dream, I'm pretty sure.
Or a nightmare, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
But for fans of Sam Alexander, Sam is not being taken away. We're just getting our Richard Rider
Getting
back.
him out of the way.
There's no reason why we can't have.
He can have an adventure somewhere. Well, and it's Nova Corps. It's a very obvious analog to Green Lantern Corps. We can know and enjoy, 4 different Green Lanterns simultaneously from 2814. We can do the same thing.
So you know what? Maybe that means we could have 4 different Novas.
I'm into it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Can I be one? I would like to be a Nova Corps member, even if I only have a quarter of the power of Richard Rider.
Okay, you know what? You can be in the Nova Corps if you can be in costume next week.
Damn it. I can be in a Booster Gold costume next week.
In that case, we'll put you 5 years in the future, and you could be in Future's End.
Awesome.
In the DC universe.
I gotta find my, I've got a Legion ring that goes along with it. I gotta find that.
Okay, people, next week, New 52 version of Kevin Goswan coming your way.
Scary. What's your next one? Wait, was that mine? Yeah, that was yours. Your turn.
Okay. Dark Horse, one mo time.
This was actually going to be one of mine.
But I was quicker on the draw.
You were quicker on the draw. This looks amazing. And where in the heck is Robert tonight? Robert Fallon, amazing fan, super fan of the show, is not here.
Yeah, well, that's okay. He'll be with us a little bit later. But
really?
let me find a really good page here. Okay, so
he's out drinking apparently.
If you came and picked up, hang on a second here, folks.
We can call him. What is the flavor inside of your mouth, Robert? He says beer.
Oktoberfest.
All right.
Okay. So, you want to have picked up Prometheus, issue number 1. And with Prometheus, you'll then jump into Aliens, Fire and Stone. There will be that interconnected Prometheus, Aliens, Predator, Aliens, or Aliens, Predator.
4 different series.
Yes.
That are simultaneously interconnected.
Yep.
What is this, Marvel or DC? Come on, Dark Horse.
Now, Kevin says that, but let me remind...
It's probably going to be awesome.
Long-time Dark Horse fans, Dark Horse's Aliens, Dark Horse's Predators, Dark Horse's Aliens versus Predator have all been amazing. First issue Prometheus, really good. When you get to that last panel and you see, if you haven't read it yet, I won't spoil it for you. But those of you who read it, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that's my second pick. Aliens, Fire and Stone, number 1. This week, Flashback Comics. Let me guess.
No. I gotta hold off. I need to catch up on my Marvel first because I am a Marvel zombie. I gotta catch up on Marvel. Once I'm caught up on my Marvel, then I can start adding other stuff, and that's gonna be one of them. Just remember that. That's gonna be one.
Marvel zombie.
I'm such a Marvel zombie.
You're a Robert Kirkman character. Drawn by Arthur Sudnium.
Sweden. Make mine Marvel. I'm a proud member of the Mighty Marvel Marching Society.
Yes, the Triple MS.
Yeah. So my next one.
What's next on your hit parade here, Kev?
Speaking of MSers, I don't know where I was going with that. The Mighty Avengers. And look at it. It's got Luke Cage on the cover. I have no idea what's going on in the Mighty Avengers. I'm not going to pretend like I do, but that looks awesome, and I can't wait to get back into Avengers. Like I've said on the show, like I've said to Troy, I need to catch up on my Avengers, and then I'm just going to branch out from there. Avengers, Spider-Man, Guardians, and then I'm just going to branch out and get back into everything again.
Well, can't say enough about Al Ewing as the writer, Salvador Larroca as the artist. I will say this about Mighty Avengers, since I have been reading it. So you haven't caught the original Sin tie-ins to the Mighty Avengers. So you did not see...
I have them, but I didn't jump into those yet.
Luke Cage is sitting down having a long talk with his daddy, and his daddy gave him his secret. And that secret, incidentally, involved a certain day-walking, vampire-slaying character named Blade.
Sweet Christmas!
Yes! So, yeah, Mighty Avengers has been pretty awesome, and you definitely want to get caught up. You want to get caught up before this book becomes Captain America and the Mighty Avengers. You don't have much time.
Okay. All right, I do want to get caught up.
So
I'm very interested in doing so. I'm starting to get back in, and like the more I read, the more I want to read. And it's going to be a little bit of pain on the old discretionary funds, but I'm going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, just give me your funds. I'll show the discretion.
I did that a couple of weeks ago. and that's how I got New Comics Today, because it's, tit for tat or something like that.
Indeed. So are you ready for my next one?
I didn't even notice you've got a Doctor Who shirt.
Doctor Who, yes.
Oh, and this is a Capaldi Doctor Who shirt. Do you sell these at the store?
Actually, I got this one at the Baltimore Comic Convention.
Nice.
Yes, they had one in my size. It was sweet.
So what's your what are your thoughts, by the way? Just quickly, I realize this is the comic book section, but what are your thoughts on the Capaldi Doctor?
Good.
All right, moving right along. Oh, wait, you're next. Go.
Yeah, I'm up. I'm next.
All right.
Okay, so one more time for Dark Horse. I'm not really a Dark Horse zombie, but Dark Horse has been laying it down with just so many good titles.
And you know that Troy's going to be picking it up.
Yes, indeed. Not only have they given us Prometheus and now Aliens, Fire and Stone, not only have they given us Sundowners. Did you read that one, by the way, Pop? Because the second issue of that just came out.
What was that
That
one?
was the one with the Justin Bieber parody.
Oh, I don't care about that one.
Oh,
Not for me.
no.
I'm going to just say that it is. It's probably wonderful. Who's writing it? That's what's important.
Oh, geez, I can't remember the name of the writer right off the top of my head. I'll show it to you after the show. I'll show it to you after the show, but trust me.
But it's good.
You want this. If you do not like Justin Bieber, if you like to make fun of him, you want to read this.
I like to make fun of people for hating him. Same thing with like what's the rock band that everybody hates?
I don't hate any rock bands.
Come on, Ben Shaw. Who is it? Coldplay. No, not Coldplay. That's not the one that everybody hates. It's it's another. It doesn't matter. Moving right along
Here, Dark Horse Entertainment has hit us with the latest installment from their Conan license. This is
Nickelback.
I don't hate Nickelback.
But they're very, very hated. They're like Bieber level hated on the internet.
Hates Nickelback.
And I don't hate them. I don't see any reason to hate them. I don't see any reason to particularly love them. But
forget Nickelback for a second. Look at this.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
that is some violence there.
Conan the Avenger #6. This is part 6 of Shadows over Kush. Fred Van Lente is the writer, and he is just writing in some amazing Conans. And yeah, that's pretty violent. But Conan, the original barbarian, the Robert E. Howard character who's been with us, Lord, for so very long. I'm not even going to count the years. I've been reading Conan since it was a Marvel book, actually.
Me too.
Conan #12 was my first issue.
Isn't it Conan #1 that begins the what is it, the
Bronze Age of comics? It is definitely a signature Bronze Age book.
Yeah.
But flashing into the present and the past, the Hyborian Age, an epic time of swords and sorcery when Conan strode the earth, grinding the jeweled crowns under his sandaled feet, etc., etc. That's a tale for another time.
Troy, what is good in life?
To crush your enemies, to see them driven before you and hear the lamentations of the women.
That's what I've heard.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, Conan the Avenger, issue #6. Check that out. It's just amazing. Conan finds himself once again drawn into some palace intrigue. He finds that he might have backed the wrong side. But once again, there are swords. There's a pigman monster. Somebody gets their arm hacked off. There are beautiful, scantily clad women. Everything you have come to love about Conan. It's in there. You want that. Fred Van Lente wrote it. It's gonna be good. Fred Van Lente, who also wrote Brain Boy. Yeah, all over that. Another Dark Horse book that you missed out on.
I recognize his name from something else.
G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Kevin.
But I mean, he's written plenty.
Yes, he has, and it's been good. Get that.
Plenty of Lente, anyway. So my next one, and if you're
I am ready for you.
My next one. All right. So here's a thing that
as opposed to a person or a place.
Well, here's a couple of people. Hey, it's Life Death 3, or not, depending. But you remember the old.
Yes, I do. Forge, Storm,
yeah.
X-Men 186. I do remember it.
Oh.
I remember it quite well.
Oh, I guess you really remember it. And Life, Death 2 being X-Men 2-0 something?
Wait, no, that was later than that.
Yeah, it was like 209-ish or somewhere in there. It's
No,
the high 20 something.
209, they fight Nimrod. The story began in 208.
I used to have all that in my brain.
210 was the beginning of the Mutant Massacre. I think what you're thinking of comes down into the 220s.
Really?
Or you might actually even be going farther than that. Remember when Forge proposed marriage to Storm?
That's what I'm thinking.
And then withdrew his proposal and walked away because he said she'd never accept. And as he walked away, she tearfully whispered that she was going to say yes. Yeah. So
I like the Storm and Forge dynamic. I never bought into the Storm and T'Challa thing. It just seemed like an arranged marriage.
No.
No, I mean I was for it. I mean whatever they want to do. I mean
all over that ever since Marvel Team Up number 100. It might have been the backup story, but really that was the prize-winning story in the book. The first appearance of Karma was good. Yeah, great. We've introduced a new mutant. But the young T'Challa, the young Storm, yeah, that. And from there on out, I always wanted to see those two characters make a thing of it. And then they did. And Avengers vs. X-Men happened, and my heart was broken. Who knows, though? Maybe one day. Maybe if this thing with Logan doesn't work out, maybe...
Wait, she's with Logan? I'm behind, people. I'm behind. Catch up with me, will ya?
Or you could stay right where you are with me and stay caught up, which puts you well ahead of this guy.
That could be.
But, yes. So, Storm, written by Greg Pak. Amazing. This is issue number 3.
Oh, cool.
1, 2, 3. Storm's book has been great on the characterization and the interpersonal conflicts as Storm comes onto these situations. Last issue, did you read that one? The one with Callisto?
I saw it.
You remember Callisto?
Yeah.
Morlocks?
Yeah, the Morlocks figured prominently in Fall of the Mutants.
Yes.
As well. X-Men 201?
No, you're the...
199?
201? My goodness. 201 is where Storm wins the
191?
leadership of the X-Men from Cyclops.
What's the one where it's her and the... Oh, it's earlier than that, isn't it?
Where it's her and what?
Her and Callisto
when they fight?
When they fight.
Oh my God, Kev, that's like 169. What is the matter with you?
I meant that one.
This guy.
I used to remember all of this. I used to have just an amazing memory. I could tell you all about, X-Men 187 with Kulan Gath. Is that 187?
No, it is not.
God damn it.
I will have to help this guy. Back issue searching. That's it.
178?
Storm number 3. All right, you ready?
They've renumbered things. I can't be expected to remember this anymore. Storm number 3 should be good. I'm going to read it.
Moving on here, I'm jumping off the Dark Horse bandwagon, and I'm jumping back to one of my favorite publishing companies, which is actually Dynamite Entertainment. I love Dynamite Entertainment. Dynamite Entertainment has given us books like Green Hornet and The Shadow. Currently giving us The Shadow, Midnight in Moscow, Howard Chaykin. That is amazing stuff.
And the Batman
love
66
Howard
stuff.
Chaykin's work.
Yeah?
Yes, teaming up with Dynamite and DC, Batman 66 and the Green Hornet. And that's also really good. But lately, Dynamite has given us Legenderry Steampunk Adventure.
Hello.
Oh my goodness. Written by Bill Willingham.
What?
This book... Hang on a second, I'm showing them some of the beautiful interiors.
Davila? I don't remember that artist, but I'm a huge Bill Willingham fan.
Yes, Sergio Fernandez Davila.
Okay.
Okay. Main cover by Joe Benitez.
Oh, hey.
Okay, so
guy.
Legendary Steampunk Adventure for people like Kevin who might have fallen very far behind.
San Diego represent.
Yes. Bill Willingham has brought an ensemble of characters who are currently in the Dynamite House, like Red Sonja, like Zorro, like the Green Hornet, like Steve Austin, the $6 Million Man, and he has reimagined them in a kind of an 1800s, turn-of-the-century steampunk fashion. So all of these characters taken out of their normal time periods and brought together, like I said, it's like, the 1880s, 1890s.
What issue number is this?
This is issue number 7.
Okay, so Marvel, and then maybe some Image and Dark Horse, and then I'll get to this one. I'll get to it.
Yeah. One day, I could have great-grandchildren by then.
And then one day, I'll get to the new 52, maybe.
Oh, yeah, by then, there'll be the new 104.
I'm into it. Let's do that one.
Steampunk, Legendary Adventure, Bill Willingham. Check this out. The Zorro... I got to show the cover one more time. That cover just looks absolutely amazing.
Did you know, Troy, that if you check out ComicsOnline.com, you can read our interview with Bill Willingham?
I would certainly love to do that.
From the Baltimore Comic-Con.
I would just like to say hello to Mr. Willingham. We had the opportunity to share a drink and catch up at the Baltimore Comic-Con at the All-Star Reception.
Because this guy pays the big bucks to rub elbows with the big-name comic book people.
That I did. So, Kev, what's next on your hit parade?
Well, my last one, also featuring Storm, back with the X-Folks, we've got Amazing X-Men, number 11, and this is Yost and Kyle and Barbary, Wong, and Rosenberg, who I don't know half of these guys, but Yost and Kyle, of course, everybody remembers, from... They did a DC thing. Don't remember. Anyway, the important thing is, good stuff. Craig Kyle and Chris Yost. And look at this. Look at this.
Continuing the World War Wendigo storyline. We had in Canada a situation involving some tainted meat. That tainted meat has spread itself across Canada and turned a legion of people into Wendigos. Now, fortunately, Wendigo is a curse tied to the land of Canada. So when they cross the border, the curse is broken. But that means New York is okay, but Canada is really not. We've gotten the Avengers involved in this, and of course, the lineup of the Amazing X-Men team sees favorites like North Star, like Colossus. Of course, if it's a Wendigo story, you gotta involve Wolverine. You gotta involve a character like Storm.
Sasquatch.
So, yes. That's Alpha Flight. That's Alpha Flight, because remember, Sasquatch is not actually a mutant.
Right, and he's a magical transformed character. Yeah?
But, so yes, the 11th issue of Amazing X-Men, that's part 4 of World War Wendigo.
I'm into it.
Yes.
So it's a good thing that we taped this in Virginia, because if we were in Canada...
We'd be in a lot of trouble. There'd be more screaming and running.
Troy would be shouting, Wendigo.
Yeah, because I would have eaten, and I would have eaten a big plate of some kind of meat, I'm sure.
Troy eats all the meat. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, big plate of ribs. That's going to be dinner.
Oh, we should have some ribs.
So are you ready? Before there are ribs, we're going to have one more comic from me. You ready?
This looks good.
It's going to be very good. One more from Dynamite Entertainment. Thank you, Kevin on the mic. Dynamite Entertainment giving us Justice Inc. issue number 2. Okay, I had mentioned earlier that Dynamite Entertainment has done comic stories involving the Shadow, Doc Savage, the Avenger. I did not mention them earlier.
I didn't know who that guy in the middle was. That's the Avenger?
That is the Avenger.
Where's he from?
Well, he was a pulp era character, and DC did a title with him in the 1970s, also called Justice Inc. That's not the only time he's ever turned up. Sometimes his book is Justice Inc., sometimes he's the Avenger. In any event, he's always the same character, very grim, very brutal,
very white.
That very pale, yes. I think it's actually supposed to be more like a gravestone gray.
Oh, okay.
In any event, which doesn't necessarily translate well in comic printing.
Yeah.
So the story, Justice Inc., actually brings together these 3 legendary pulp era characters. They characters in their native time period here. We're talking the Shadow, Doc Savage, and with the Avenger, all three together, all brought into yet one more epic struggle where it's resourcefulness, brains, fists, guts, twin justice administered with twin 45s. Or in Doc Savage's case, the super machine pistol that fires non-lethal rounds. Because Doc Savage.
Same guy.
Samson. No.
Different guy.
Doc Savage is the Man of Bronze.
Man of Bronze.
Doc Samson
Savage
has green hair.
Yeah, right.
Gamma-powered psychiatrist. And Doc Savage is all about rehabilitating criminals. He's all about non-lethal means. He's all about finding another way. The Shadow, on the other hand, is much more brutal, and his brutality is more in line with the Avengers. So this is a pulp action story that you definitely want to check out.
All right. So.
And that's your 5.
And that's my 5.
And that is the Flashback Comics Comic Spotlight for New Comic Wednesday. That'll be the 24th.
24th of September.
2014.
It's autumn now.
Yes, it is.
And I've got Storm and Amazing X-Men. It's like the fall of the mutants. All over again because I love the 80s. So
ladies and gentlemen, I promise Kevin will be taken outside and beaten later.
As long as I have my ribs first, I'm fine with that.
Oh, you'll have your ribs all right.
All right.
You ready to go eat?
Ready to go.
You ready to have some comics?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Bye-bye.
From leaping tall buildings to going off like gamma bombs. Switch your internet browser to ComicsOnline.com.